Welcome back everyone. As you already seen in the title, this is going to be a fun video where I'll be showing you how to create simple 2D game prototypes on Adobe Xd. You might be thinking, what is the need or purpose of doing this? Well, I could think of two reasons. The first one being, if you're a game designer or you would like to gamify your app, then this would be a great way to explain your stakeholders or your game developers the idea behind your game and how the gameplay would look in general. And the second reason I could think of is just for fun. Well, it would also help you understand how Auto Animate works and explore more about it. So without wasting any more time, let's get started. So here we are on Adobe Xd. There are 3 games here, out of which 2 are already created. So I'll be going through the process how I went about doing it. And the third one is going to be a kind of an exercise where I want you guys to work upon it. So starting off with the most simple one here, that is the Tic Tac Toe or the XNOs, whatever you call it. So let's say you want to create a simple game like this. But verbally explaining it to your developers or your stakeholders is not a great way. But you could actually create a simple prototype like this to explain the idea behind your app to the stakeholders so that they get a real feel of it. Or maybe just to your developers to show how the gameplay should be and how the animation should work. So you gotta keep in mind that this is not a fully functional game, but it is just to explain the main gameplay or the idea behind your game. So I'll just run this as a prototype and show you how it works, and then maybe I'll explain you what all I did behind this. So I'll just select this and I'll preview this as a prototype and I'll just bring it to the center. So this is the starting screen. We could add more elements here, but this is just the main part of it. So I've got a versus player and versus CPU, and I'm done the flow for the versus CPU part. So I'll click on the versus CPU and it starts with the X here, and I have a small indication showing that I could place a O here. So I click there and the CPU has played it, and then I have a small indication. So I'll click there, and here I have a clean way to win it. So I just click there and it crosses it and the player wins. So that was a very simple way of how you could prototype a simple game like this. So let's see what I've done here. So initially I've just got a screen here, and then I have different boxes here. So the different layers that I've got here are just 9 boxes, 0 opacity fill. And then I've got these different components, which basically has 2 states, which is an X state and an O state. And the default state is empty. So that is just a component so that I can simply select any component and just change the state. So in the second artboard, I've just highlighted this box here to 10% opacity, and then I've reduced it, and then I've placed the O here, and that process just goes on, and there are different locations where the X and O's are placed, and finally you have the player wins indication and a small line which grows here showing a way to strike it off. So those are the different things, and then once you have done all the states, you just have to go to prototype tab here and start prototyping your different elements. So this is the button which starts off, and then once I do this, there is a time trigger where it highlights the box here. It just fades to 10% opacity and then fades back to 0% opacity, and then the O is placed here. So that just goes on, which is a very simple way like you normally prototype. So that is pretty straightforward, and that is how I've implemented the Tic Tac Toe. And I'll be giving this file, so don't worry about it. You can go through each and every process or the different states and the different animations if you want to see it in detail. So moving on to the next one here, which is a car racing app. So here I've got a car racing app, and I've used different assets here from the assets panel. So I'll be giving you this file with all these assets here, so which I've taken from these different developers here. So I'll be placing this Adobe Xd file in the description below so you can take it and try it out yourself. So in this, first let me just play this, and then we'll go through the different things that I've done here. So I'll run it as a preview here. So you can see that it shows a small animation here, and once I click on start, you can see the car just comes in, and now you have an indication of the arrows here, which is a gamepad or the D-pad. And once I click on right, which shows right here, the car moves, and then again it stops for the next, which is a right. I click on the right arrow here, and then I have a left arrow indication here, so I click on the left, but I just hit the truck here and the game is over, and the game just restarts back again. So if I select this here, I've created this road with different assets here. So in a general 2D game, you have an asset which keeps repeating continuously. So this is a small piece or a sprite which we call in a game. So this is a small piece which keeps repeating. I'll be showing how to do this in the next game, which is the Flappy Bird game. And that is the road which goes on to a very far distance here. And this I'll be basically moving here. So if I go to the next thing here, you can see how I moved the road a bit below, and that is to show the animation that the car is moving, but basically here the road is moving. That is how 2D games work. And then in the next state, the game basically starts. So here you can see I reset the road back to the start point again, and I've placed all the trucks and the manholes in different places here. And then I start moving the road little by little in each of the states. And this is just a key indicator. So in Adobe Xd, we have something called as a gamepad. So if I go to the prototype tab here, you'll be able to see that you have a trigger which says key and gamepad. So basically you can use a real joystick of Xbox or PS4 and assign different keys. So that is the basic idea behind the trigger as gamepad, but even you can use your keys, which says keys here. So once you select that, you can click here and assign any key you want to assign to the different trigger. So in my case, it's a right arrow here, which I've shown here. So I want the user to click on the right arrow, which I'm basically indicating here. This basically doesn't come in the game, but this is just to show the prototype. Like we have indicators which highlight the different actionable items. And this is a similar concept where I'm just trying to tell the user that you have to click on the right arrow here. And that is what is the arrow key here also. And once I do a right click, I just move the car to a different position here, and I'll move the road also. So basically I just moved the road to this position and I moved the car to this position in this state here. And using the auto animate feature, so if you see the trigger here, it is gamepad, right arrow and auto animate. So that takes care of the animation that you saw in the video. So if I click this and I basically run it in preview, when I click on the right, so the road is moving and the car is moving to the right. So that is what is happening here. And that just goes on. I have a right click again where I move the car to the extreme right and the road a bit forward. And then finally the car hits on this truck where I just stop it here and then I move it to the game over scenario. And then once that is done, I have a trigger here with a time delay back to the beginning of the game. That is how you saw the game start over again. So I'll just quickly run this once again and I'll show you to you how it works. So that is how it starts off. I click on start here. The game starts and the right indicator is shown. So I click on the right arrow here. And the indicator again comes in, I click on the right and it says left, so I click on the left and it finally hits on the truck. So you get the idea, right? This is just to show how you want the gameplay, how you want the animation to work. This has nothing to do with the physics and the real part of the game. This is just to explain the idea to your stakeholders and your game developers. And finally, moving on to the last one, which I told you is a kind of an exercise. So I have not done this game. I basically want you guys to do it, but I'll be showing you like a 20-30% of this. So here I've got different assets here. The first one is a background which keeps repeating where the bird will stay stationary, which is a Flappy Bird game. If this is a very popular game like a couple of years ago, which went really viral. So these assets I've already given in the Adobe Xd file that I'm going to provide you in the description below. So these are from these developers here where I've given the credits. So these are the different assets that you can go ahead and use. So there's a night mode, this is a daytime mode, and these are the different assets that you want to use in this game. So I've taken a artboard here, which is an iPhone 6 artboard, and I've got the asset here of the background daytime, and this is the pipe through which the Flappy Bird has to escape through, and this is the get started. So let's place this in the center here, and then I'll also place the bird right here, but I'll just make it at a 0% opacity. So if you know about the game, the pipe basically is on the bottom and on the top, and there's a gap in the between through which the bird has to escape. So we'll just duplicate this pipe here and also place it on the top. I'll place it somewhere like this and this one somewhere like this, and this would be the region where the bird has to escape through. And this is the ground which we'll be placing at the bottom here. So as I showed you in the car racing game, you saw the road was continuously made here. So that is basically using a repeat feature, which is a great feature on Adobe Xd. So just click on the background here, click on Command R or Control R. That basically makes your layer into a repeat mode, and all you have to do is just drag to how much ever duplicate elements you want. So somewhere like this is good enough. And you have a gap here. You basically have to remove this gap so that it is a seamless background here. So once I remove this gap, you will notice that it is a continuous background without any gap in between. It's a continuous flow. So those are the different things, and also the ground also has to be in the same way. So I click on Command R or Control R and do the same thing. Just drag it towards the right. Somewhere around here looks good, and the same thing, I'll just click here and remove the gap between these, so make it 0. So now we have a repeating ground also, and the next thing we got to do is just click on these two here and group it. We'll do the same thing here, which is Command R, which makes it a repeat mode, and I'll just drag this. You need to increase the gap between these. And the next thing what you got to do is just ungroup these, because you want to place these pipes in different positions. So what we'll do is just ungroup this repeat mode here, and now you can control each and every element here. So I'll just move these somewhere like this, one at the bottom, one here, one here. You get the idea, right? You just have to create a random position so that the level keeps getting harder. That is pretty much it. Now what you got to do is select all these pipes here and group it along with the background. That will make sure that everything is one particular scene here. So I group everything and I'll just move this behind. And one thing you got to notice, these pipes actually should go behind the ground. So what we'll do is click on the ground here and bring it above all these pipes. So that is perfect. I'll just duplicate the scene here. We'll just fade this to 0% opacity. The actual bird will come into picture, that make it 100% opacity. And you basically want to move these to each of these levels here, somewhere like this. On the next state, I want to go into the next pipe here and I'll move it somewhere like this. Let's just quickly prototype this one. So on top of this, I want the game to begin, which is good. I'll place it as Auto Animate. On click of, let's say, gamepad and the top arrow key, I want it as Auto Animate. Let's keep it at 1 second. That looks good. So let's just quickly run this. So I click here. You get the idea, right? So this is not perfect. The timings and everything has to be tweaked here, and you also have to have the scorecard here. So there is a video on Adobe Xd where I showed you how you can have a number slider, which you can check from the card link here. So that will show you how you can show a score indicator where the score increases. That will be good for using it on this game, the car racing game. So all these are just basic prototypes. You can go ahead and make this even more perfect with a lot of animations. So this is a great way to learn Auto Animate and explore the different features. So make sure that you download this file if you want to try it out. I'll be leaving these Flappy Bird assets and everything here. So make sure that you try to create the Flappy Bird game, and maybe you can tag us at Design Extreme and I'll try to have a look at the things that you created and maybe give a feedback on it. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you found it interesting and fun. Thanks for watching.